Okay, guys, so we're gonna try something else here. We've done this in class a couple of times the past few years on days that we just want to have some fun. But you could do this at home, and in fact, we've actually had kids that have built their whole portfolios around this in the past and ended up with a five. So I went to a conference in Toledo about 4 years ago, and I signed up for a class called Underwater Photography, and I was all excited. And I got there and I realized it was not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. But what we have is just a clear baking dish. You might have one at home. I've got a couple at school. If you wanted to try this, I could drop them off at the front desk. It's best if it's as clean as it can be. And this one happens to have, I don't know if you can make it out there, but it's got like a little thing that says Pyrex on the bottom. If you got one that doesn't have something like that, it's even a little bit better, but we can work around anything, especially with Photoshop and that sort of stuff. I put down a white paper towel here so that you can kind of see what's happening a little bit better, and I've got a light background. But I've also got out for myself some canola oil or any oil that you've got, some water, and I'm going to start by putting some water into this pan. And I don't need to fill it up very much, just like a quarter of an inch, if that. Um, and then I, at school, have some of these liquid watercolors, so that's what we worked with in the past. But you could easily do this at home with something as simple as like some food coloring. So the next thing is I just want to drizzle a little bit of oil in there. And at the seminar that we were at, we did fabric on there underneath, so we'd get these colors and patterns laid over the top of one another. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. So now I'm going to introduce my watercolor. Oh, look at that already. Something cool is starting to happen. And here's another one. Do a little blue. So I'm going to see my blue move out there. And then at this point, that's when you would get your phone and you could start, taking pictures right away. But you can also go in there and play with it, as you can kind of imagine. You can start to move things around and see if you can get one thing to introduce itself to another thing and sort of have some fun with the marbleization that starts to happen. But what we ended up playing with was taking photographs and putting them underneath. So, topically, I just happen to have here a photograph of the riots at the Capitol. So now I've got my blue and red watercolor interacting with the image of the guy with the Confederate flag inside the um, White House or Capitol building. It's not going to let me show you that way, but there you go. So it could be something like that, and then you think, oh, how clever, Mr. Walter, red and blue, like red and blue states. But it doesn't have to be that sort of a thing. I've got other ones that I printed out here. Oh, shoot. There's the one that I left behind. It looks like it's the one that I really wanted. It's Andrew Jackson and an Indian, so I could have had like an Indian chief and Andrew Jackson in there as well. You can put things down. My phone is going off telling me to make this video. And so I will say goodbye for today. Underwater at home photography. Give it a try.